Hi everybody. Don't scream. Yes, this is what I look like without makeup. I usually wear very little makeup, so shouldn't be too different. But we are helping me get ready for my very special Halloween photo shoot. It is a tradition. It's been, let's see, this is the third year I'm doing this with my friends. And let's get started. What do I want to do first? I think I want to start with the first. I am gonna try wearing my fake eyelashes. I use the magnetic ones, which means it is 2 layers of magnetic substance that helps them stay on. So, mix it up. It has to be, it's a double layer. So, I'm gonna start with the first layer, then do the hair, then do the second layer and the rest of the makeup and the lashes. And at some point we will get to the double skirts. So 3 years in the making. The first year it was one friend and myself, and we were an innocent victim and I was the murderess. So we filmed actually in a location off Blue Ridge Parkway, which is rumored to be haunted. So it had this really super awesome atmosphere to it. And we had a lot of fun. Okay, I think that's good enough. There we go. Then second year, so that was a year ago today, we were sorceresses and we had another friend join. Hi Lily. We had another friend join and we were filming at one of the older parks. Now, that one was challenging because one, it was during the pandemic, so we had to be very careful with the masks and everything. Two, one of our friends, one of the 3 of us, was pregnant at the time, so we had to protect her with our lives from illness and from everything. So the way this works, when we did the photo shoot, if it was a solo photo, we would walk into the shot, take off the mask, take the shot, put on the mask, walk out. The photographs where all 3 of us are together, we're all wearing masks, but it was still tremendous fun. And we were so lucky with our weather that year. And my brush doesn't want to work with me. Come on. This is typical. I forget how to do this between times. I don't use my fake eyelashes very often. When I do a good job, but it always comes out a little bit sloppy, which is not a bad thing. There we go. So this is layer number 1. This is layer number 1 of the magnetic substance. How do the magnetic eyelashes work? This stuff contains literally teeny little particles of metal in it. And the lashes are on the magnets. So this has to be mixed, which I do. And then you put the layer 1 on, you put layer 2 on, and then the eyelashes are supposed to just stay. So, we'll see. While this is drying, we're going to do the hair. God, what do I do with this hair today? Let's do my usual double twist ponytail. I think it is appropriate for a fairy. I do this all the time. I strongly recommend it. By the way, if you have anywhere from medium length to regular length hair, like long length, you can do this. I wear this so much. So all you need for the basic double twist ponytail is 2 rubber bands, and I like to have my twisty with this. I like to have this. But anything you can to basically help you pull your ponytail through. So first I divide my hair into 2 uneven parts, and I like mine asymmetrical, so I'm doing this on my left hand side. See, it's off center already. Get my twisty, pull it through, pull it down. Eek. So that's part number 1. Number 2, take the other half of the hair and roll it up. Roll it up, roll it up, roll it up. Do I have any other hair? There we go. Roll it up, kind of like so. Push it together. Make another ponytail with the ponytail that's already in place. And use your second rubber band to secure it. There. Again, do not throw your twisty on the floor. That is entirely optional. Here we go. Here we go. Pull it through. Come on. There we go. Hold on. That's it. That's your double twist. And so, again, as I said, mine right now is very, very off to one side, which is how I want it. Doesn't have to be. I sort of like this. Yeah. You can make it into a bun. I'm trying to send an invite and it's not working. We'll see if it goes through. There we go. So, but, so I often do this up in a bun. Hi, Lily.
Hi, how are you?
I do this, symmetrically, so, but it works well. I like it. My hair is not terribly long, but if you do have long hair, you can do more with it. It's fun. If you guys already haven't done so, if you haven't done so already, I can't talk apparently. I can't construct a cogent sentence. Follow Lily, she's awesome. She sings, she acts.
Thank you.
She is an all-around awesome entertainer and an awesome person to have around. So go follow Lily.
Thank you.
Anytime.
That's a tremendous gift. I'm honored.
We all small creators and big creators, we should all help each other out, because this is a bit of a dog eat dog out here.
Absolutely.
Normally I don't like using a lot of hairspray, but our photo shoot is outside in the park, and there's going to be wind, and I want my hair to actually stay attached to my head. So hairspray this time. All right. Let's see. It looks like my magnetics are staying on, my magnetic substances. So let's do level 2, layer 2.
Let's bring it on.
That's right. And I wear fake eyelashes very rarely. The character I wear them for is from the Leech Mistress storyline. It's Zima. Zima is entirely my own invention. So Leech Mistress was part of the Tower in the Eye series, written by my friend Mandy Ward, writer of Zima was my own invention. She is a girl. She's basically a pub waitress who moonlights as a contrabandist. So she runs a little business under, under the bar, so to speak.
But she is somebody that the Leech Mistress seduced one night while they were both very, very drunk. So
Oh,
as the result, apparently they had a really good time because as the result, she acquired some of the Lich Mistress's powers and some of her youth and partial immortality. So Zima is not immortal, but she is extremely long-lived, and she
right.
doesn't age. So
Wow.
the Leech Mistress is an all-around elemental sorceress, so she has control over all of the elements. Zima has control over snow and ice. And her name is a Russian word for winter with the accent moved, because Russian word for winter is zima. So I called Zima Zima because that's how I felt about it. But she has blue eyes. She's a blue-eyed brunette. So that's the only time I wear a fake eyelash, when I do Zima, because she's just so over the top. All right. So we'll let this dry. What can I do? Let's get my earrings on. Let's figure out what I'm doing with my headgear. My sparklies. I already got my butterfly on. I always wear my butterfly necklace because it gives me courage and confidence. So you want to see a little closer. There's my butterfly.
Hmm.
You can actually see her a lot in my hiking videos because being out and doing anything sort of very physical is a self-challenge for me. It always is because of my um, physical issues, because of the issues with my spine. And so very often in my nature walk videos, you can see me wearing the butterfly, particularly the ones where I go swimming, because the lake where I go swimming, I have to hike there for like over 3 miles, and then the water is flipping cold. And then I have to hike back 3 miles to get back
Hey,
to my car.
Lourdes. How are you,
Hey,
sweetheart?
artist,
I'm so
good
happy
to
to see
see
you.
you.
I feel like it's been
Yay.
forever since I've seen you. I've been meaning to get back and look at your videos.
All right. So, uh, tiara. Tiaras are important.
How are we
So,
doing, everybody?
how's
Lourdes,
everybody doing? How
hello.
is everybody's Halloween so far? One of the
Lourdes,
best
I
days
miss
of
you.
the year.
Happy Samhain.
Happy selling, blessings.
I am well, Lourdes. I am extremely, extremely tired. I have been working for the last several hours trying to get my side of the deal for this project Stuart and I are working on, and I'm really trying to push past my limits on this one, but it's all good. It will be really good. It will just be nice to be able to get this off to him so that he can work his magic. But how are you, dear? I feel like it's been forever since we've talked, and I miss you. I'm sorry if I've been MIA. I know we're all kind of all over the place these days.
Is it just me, or is like everybody is running in like 50 different directions?
Hi,
Like
Sammy.
everybody.
Welcome in, darling.
Hello, hello. Hi, folks. Merry Samhain, Happy Halloween, whatever it is you choose
It's
to
a
call it.
lazy Sunday for me. I've been working I know, Lourdes, and I have to tell myself that because I know you're so busy. And then I'm like, I haven't heard from Lourdes. And then I'm like, Liliana, you can just message her. Why are you not messaging her? And then it's all good. Happy Samhain, yes. You are great. Yes, I know. And I know you're zipping and zawing from place to place. So I know I should just top. I can't talk. I
I
should just message you and say
Yeah, I don't
hello.
know how folks travel for work. Oh my God, I do not miss that. I used to do that. Ugh,
You got new makeup this morning, getting ready to start getting your costume on. That's wonderful. Whoa. Yes, I
awesome.
forget that, Lourdes. That's amazing. And Sammy, to answer your question, I am well. I'm just like really tired because yesterday my sleep pattern was all over the place. and then I was like doing lives, jumping on lives, not falling asleep on lives. I didn't fall asleep on a live. That
That's
was
the
good.
good thing. That is good.
I
That is
know.
good.
It was a
Not falling
miracle.
asleep on lives is good. Because I mean, I know some folks leave them on for comfort, but I don't think it's considered generally good
Mine,
content.
mine was
This is like
accidental.
very Truman Show. Does anyone even remember the movie Truman Show? Is anybody old enough to have seen it? It's one of my favorite movies, but one of the episodes in True, not episodes, but one of the things in Truman Show was that people left him
I read
sleeping
it,
all night
Lourdes.
for comfort, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Lourdes. Oh,
see,
I know.
Lourdes knows. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I,
All
I,
right.
I'm sorry if I come across a little bit delayed. It's because like you're talking and I'm like taking in the information. I'm like, have I seen this movie? Can you say the title one more time?
The Truman Show.
Oh, yes,
TR
wasn't a
with
movie though. That was
Jim
the
Carrey
show,
and
right? That was actually a
yeah,
show. I do
yeah,
remember the
the,
Truman Show a little bit. Yes.
with
Yes, I agree.
and
It was ahead of its time, Lourdes. Yes, I feel like it's been so long though since I've seen it. Like when you said it, I'm like, do I even? I feel like there's been so many different
yeah.
things that have come out.
I watch it all the time. It's like one of my favorite movies. Um, and I was I remember that at the time Jim Carrey was getting really, really pigeonholed into the comedy roles, into ridiculous comedy roles, like because this was shortly after The Mask came out,
You're right,
and
Jim
I felt,
Carrey.
yes, I felt
Yes,
so bad for him. And so
I
when
think
he
you're
did
right,
Truman
Lourdes.
Show,
I
yeah,
think.
when he did
Oh, I'm
Truman
sorry. I'm
Show,
like weird over here.
he like
I'm
freaking
pretty sure
killed.
that's correct. Yes. Okay, so while we're honoring, oh my gosh, my brain. I am really in trouble today.
Have you considered
Wow.
like taking a break? It's not illegal.
No, I have been taking too much of a break. Like I have done polos and like voice messages with people today, and I literally was like, "Oh, I'm taking a break from doing this." And then I go back to it and I look at it and I mean, I'm way further than I was. I have um so what I have, if anybody cares, um I have like the main thing, like what has all the text, well most of it, and then I have sort of the format. Hi, Felicia. Welcome. I'm happy to hear your good news. And then I sort of have like the generalized, well, this is kind of how I want the flow to be. Um,
Right.
and then on one page that I'm working on now, it's kind of like the most basic tier because for my kids, there's multi levels. And so I'm going to have
Right.
like a matching one.
Well, right. You can't just, have all your materials kind of in one big dump. You have to
Well, and that's
split it
what I
up.
was, yeah, because because when I sent Stuart the initial one, I'm laughing because when I sent it to him, I thought in my mind it was very compartmentalized and like, here's a dump here, here's a dump there, here's a dump this, and blah 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 blah. And then he he was sending me voice messages this morning. He's like, so I'm reading this right now, and then like a couple seconds later, he's like, now I'm at this part. I don't understand. Would you explain this? And so I had to tell him because he was like, he didn't know what I meant by this multi-tiered things, and I realized. I was like, he's not going to know what that means. You can say it. So I told him, I was like, this is for modification because there's multi levels, all this other stuff. And it's like,
There
oh, I
you
get
go.
it. So I told him I was going to give him sort of like a basic template or whatever have you. I'm sorry, I'm missing comments. Let me go back.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
But
What are
this
y'all
is,
planning
guys,
for
this is what
Halloween?
the fake eyelashes look like, by the way. These are fully attached, and I'm using um Beauty Counter Glitz
Mm.
palette. I'm using
My
Mirage.
sister-in-law wears fake eyelashes all the time. So she has the kind that like they attach them for you and like she wears
Oh
them for a
God,
long time.
that
So
is
I'm used to
incredibly
seeing them.
expensive.
Well, let's just put it this way. She has the ability to do that. Someone said that, what are we planning for Halloween? Um, I'm probably gonna just stay home and be honest. I'm gonna lay around. I've been kind of running myself into the ground the last few weeks in different ways because I'm trying to, do things. I haven't really done it. So I'm saying this, but I haven't like actually done this part where I've wanted to. So I don't know if you guys know, but my website's been up for a couple weeks now, and we're in phase 2 of my website, which means we're working on the photography part of it. And I'm trying to figure out which photos I'd like to use for like my sliders for the different categories, because
Right.
there's going to be different categories where people can interact with, like for portraits or like weddings or engagement photos, baby photos. And then I'm going to have this other one that's specifically for like landscape and stuff. So for example, I think I showed this for some of you before. So I took this photo on a hike. Um, One of my favorite hikes. It's Mount Si
Oh, that's
back in Washington State.
beautiful.
But then I edited it, the same picture, a different way, and I'm like, oh, this is like Beauty and the Beast vibes. But people said they prefer the other one better. But this just kind of reminds me of like the contrast of like this is the light, where Maurice could have chosen the light way or the dark way. But yeah, so I'm hoping I'll have these prints available once I get the e-commerce finalized, so people can actually buy prints of that. But anyway, I got to catch up on the comments. There's like 9 people that have been saying things, and I've missed them all. I'm sorry. Oh, good. I'm glad that your chakra is clear. So good. Yes, the fake eyelashes. Have you tried magnetic
Yeah.
eyelashes? I bought some, but need to learn to place them on. I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
cool, Lourdes.
it's patience. You gotta learn this. And so with the fake eyelash, with the magnetic stuff, you have to have the a killer makeup remover on
Mm-hmm.
hand, because you're gonna mess up multiple times. So you're gonna remove all the eye makeup you just put on, put it back, remove, back, remove. It's exactly my acting crowd here. You guys can confirm this. If you've done any stage makeup, you do not put your makeup for the first time 5 minutes before the show.
You have to let it
You
set.
do not do that.
You have to let it
You
set.
practice until you can do this with your eyes closed. So
Yes.
I practiced with these at least 5 or 6 times before I got them to stick, not before I got them to look good. Not the same thing. Fake
Right.
eyelashes sticking and fake eyelashes looking good, not the same thing. So
Welcome in everybody who
yes.
just joined. Okay, hold on a second. Lourdes. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, okay, yes. Felicia, wonderful. I'm so happy you got to see your grandmother. I'm glad you guys got to read that book series. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, hold on. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. And no, ma'am, that is not for you. What is even in
Hey
there?
Lily,
Yeah.
is your website in your link tree?
Yeah, it's in my link tree. I need to
Okay.
call the hosting though, because I have my SSL set up. Oh gosh, she's gonna go off on it now. Hold on. Um, yes, ma'am. Okay. I
Your
guess it's
dog is
time
like
for.
really making some very, very pertinent comments, I'm sure.
Yes. Um, but yeah, so hold on, we're gonna go downstairs for a minute. But yeah, the SSL certificate, which basically shows the HTTPS, the secure.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, you will go outside, I promise. All right, little one, go outside. Sorry, guys. But it's like not showing up, so it shows it as not secure. And I was told that it should only take a certain amount of time to do the switch over, whatever it needed to do. And it's not, and so I need to inquire as to why that hasn't happened yet. Have you all
Gotcha.
duetted Artemis
Gotcha.
Halloween costume? I'm enjoying them. I'm going to today.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
you know
I
what?
haven't.
I am going to duet the one that you guys have done. I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream. La, da, 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 da. But I have a couple of costumes I could use, but I don't know if I'm going to necessarily duet it, only because I am like not doing anything tonight. I'm literally just gonna curl up and try to sleep, because I have been running myself into the ground, like I keep saying. Because between
Yeah,
trying to
I haven't been. Yeah,
get
I haven't been
collaborate with
duetting
stuff
much,
with
or
Annie,
yeah.
and then I'm obviously the stuff that Stuart's helping me with. And then, hi, Sue Spall. Welcome in, darling. Hello. But what is everybody being for Halloween? Let me know in the chat. Or let us know in the
I'm a
chat.
fairy,
Hold on a second.
or I'm gonna be once I'm done. So I told you, first I was a murderess, cult corporate.
Come
Then I
on,
was a sorcerer. So
darling.
this year I'm a fairy. I'm not telling you whether I'm a good fairy or a bad fairy. That remains to be decided.
Also, if you guys are not following Angry Hobbit, you need to follow Angry Hobbit. She does writing. She's phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. At the moment, so I
You're
haven't
gonna be
been for
Lilo?
those.
That's so cute. Oh, that's so
I love
cute.
Livia Stitch. Yeah. So I haven't
Hello,
been doing
Annie.
anything. Last year I went wild for Halloween. Last year I duetted absolutely everybody. Um, who does a fun? So Gondre the wordsmith. If you don't follow him, follow him. He's amazing. But Gondre does a month of Halloween. He's amazing. And last year I duetted absolutely everything he like posted. We did Atlantis, we did Disney, we did like flipping everything. This year I haven't done much because I had a surgery on Wednesday. So I'm technically still in post-op. So I'm still recovering. So I haven't felt much like doing anything. So which is why I've been posting a lot of reposts, and I've been posting a lot of nature walks, because that stuff I can do, like whatever. So yeah, but yeah, but I haven't been doing much. But this is my first time doing anything Halloweeny this year, because we had a photo shoot arranged with the friends, and I figured, okay, I should be well enough. So yeah.
You can totally see her as a fairy. Me too. Yes, Angry Hobbit is amazing. She writes phenomenal things. She writes alternate endings. She also has like a dozen other books. She has a website. Is that in your bio?
Yeah, so the website is in my bio, and I also made it a little bit easier. I also set up a link tree, which takes you directly to, if you want to read original works, it takes you directly there. If you want to read translated works, it takes you there. I also added links to my Kiva fundraising microloan group, because that's like one of my pet causes. Kiva
Yes.
is, and I think I put in a link to my store. As I was telling Lily, you young whippersnappers, I've had merch before it was called merch. So,
Yeah.
so yeah. But yeah, all of my book related stuff is in my bio. So if you want to pop on over, and I am in the process of writing a new alternative ending story, which was actually inspired by a video Lily posted. And it is gonna be, yeah. So when I started, this was fun. When I started writing it, I was so excited. I took a screenshot and I posted it to her on Instagram, so she knows what it's about. And you guys don't get to know until I
I
finished writing
literally
it.
was like freaking out, and
Yeah,
I'm still so excited because and
yeah,
it just
awesome.
oh my God.
Yeah, no, that is
Yeah,
no, Sammy. Yes, that is,
that's
writing
great.
is work.
It is. I'm
I know
really
writing is work. Writing is work. We both know writing is work.
I know writing
Yeah.
is work because I write as well, even though I don't talk about it a lot, but I do. I used to write lots of poetry and short stories and things, and I feel like, however you want to say it, God, the universe is beckoning me to finish this one story I was writing in my undergrad. And then you know how sometimes when you're writing something and it's very like close to your heart and it gets really intense. So like you're basically expressing your point indirectly, but you're not stating like what that is. And the audience needs desperately to know what that is so they can fully understand. But you're like not in that place. So that's kind of where I was at in college, and people were like, "Wait, tell us what it is. Tell us what it is." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do this." So I'm
Like
like going
I,
back and rewriting it entirely.
yeah, no, I hate showing my work until it's done. I hate
Well,
showing my work. Like unless it's something super special, like because when I'm overflowing, I'm like with the alternative endings things, I was just really so excited. Besides, I will make an exception for the muse, and so Lily, you were the muse for this one, so you get to see it before everybody else does. So yeah.
Oh gosh.
So you can
Well,
like add that to your resume, you know, science fiction fantasy views. There you go. But
oh my-
otherwise, no, I will not. I do not do previews. I do not do any of that. I show my work when it's ready. You know, I show it when it's ready, when it's done, when it's published. It's like no.
I'm so excited.
Yes, and yes, and I feel so proud of it. And then,
Yeah.
Sammy, do you have that thing where like you finish one and you have that like, woohoo, it's done, and then you just sit there and it's like, okay, well, this one is done. What do I do next? I always run into this. Like I recently finished a translation, and if I find a muse, yes, I will tell them what they have inspired. It's not a lot. It's not it could be like with Lilies, it was like the first page, I think. But you know, because I want them to know sort of what's in the process and what they put into my head, you
I just
know.
thought that was so
But yeah.
cool. And I only read part of it at first, so I'm like, I need to go back and look at it again because I was just so excited because when she left the comment on my thing, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like you have to write this. And I thought I was just like, kind of saying that because like I was like, that'd be amazing. And like when you say things like that, people are like, yeah, okay, whatever. But like when she wrote me back, she's like, actually, here you go. And I was like,
Yeah, this is what, I told you this is not the first time. So, the installment number 4 of the Alternative Endings, which is The Making of the Beast, which is the prequel
I
to
can't wait
Beauty
to
and
read
Beast.
that one. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
So that was Stu. He dropped the idea, and he knows how I function. I sat on it and I sat on it and I sat on it for like 6 weeks. And then finally I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm writing this. And again, because he, in this case, was the muse for this, he got to see it before anybody else. So, and then, we, of course, we did the covers for all 4. So yeah. So, but in this case, yeah, it's, you're the muse, you got to see it. I need to finish it. I know exactly where it go for once. I know exactly where it's going. I know exactly where the story's going. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I just need to sit my butt down and write. So I am getting into my skirts, y'all. This is a vital part of the process. I am wearing 2, not 1, not 2, but 2 tutus. These are full. I'll step out so you guys could take it all in a moment. But I
Oh
am
my
wearing
gosh.
2 full-size ballet tutus, and because I'm a short little person, I order a knee-length romantic tutu. On me, it is an ankle-length romantic tutu.
Yeah, Sammy, I think that's a really amazing opportunity. And yeah, I'm sure that Stuart would enjoy being a part of that. Yeah, he just really appreciates things like that. So yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
move you
good.
guys. But
Ooh,
yeah,
I didn't get.
um, if you have somebody who inspires, and this actually pertains not just to folks who inspire you to write, not just the folks who inspire you to write, but
Sammy, you're
also
only
folks who,
4'11". I'm 5'2".
you know, yeah, I am 5'1". My mom was 4'11", Sammy. Sammy, you'll love this story. So my mom was 4'11". In Russian, in metric units, that's 1 meter 47 centimeters. And growing up, my mom's, you're not little, you're concentrated awesome. My
Hashtag
mom's
your
nickname,
font size. Your
my mom's nickname among her friends was Quarter Gallon. And when I asked her why, it's because at the time in the Soviet Union, in the quarter gallon of vodka cost 1 ruble 47 kopecks, and she was 147. So there you go. Okay.
Lourdes, what are you doing to relax today?
Shoes.
Lourdes, are you still in here, love? You're doing laundry. I did laundry last night
Oh,
slash
that's
this
the way
morning. Yeah.
I've actually, you know what, guys, because laundry feels so much like work and it is work, I have exiled laundry to Wednesdays. It's not easy. I mean, it helps. It does help that I work from home, so I can throw in loads of laundry while I'm doing this. And it doesn't help that, we have 2 people and 6 animals operating out of the same house. So it's usually like 5 or 6 or even 7 loads of laundry in a day. But because laundry is such a dreary, flipping chore, at least I somehow managed to squeeze it out of the weekend because I do not want my weekend tainted with laundry.
Right.
These are my little fairy shoes.
They're adorable. Ooh.
Yeah, they are. You can't see. They are bluish gray. They are bluish gray. And again, because I'm a little person with 5.5-foot feet, 5.5 size feet.
Yep.
Getting shoes is flipping impossible.
Girl, I know. I'm kind of in a similar boat. It's like 5.5 or 6, depending.
Like nobody carries that. It is ridiculous. It is so unfair. Like, what are we supposed to do? We want to wear pretty shoes too. So
Right. Sorry if
All
I'm
right.
like so far away. I won't be able to read the comments as well. It's just my phone is charging. So
no
that is
worries. No worries. No, I'm just glad you're here.
yeah, I'm happy to
Yeah,
be here as well.
like up to 7, right, Sammy? Up to 7. Up to 7. Like, it's like we don't exist. And like under 5'4", it's like we don't exist. Excuse
We're
me.
hobbitses.
We want pretty too. We want cute shoes. Landresseurs, you pay. You know what? I wish I could do that. I really wish I could afford to do that. I hate doing laundry. And again, this goes back to like growing up. I did until I came to the States, I've done all my laundry by hand. And I didn't come to the States until I was 19. So I do not miss that, but I have like this very strong, visceral, negative reaction to doing laundry. I do it. But, yeah, they do. Lourdes, again, it's getting there and being able to afford what they have. So because of the pandemic, part because I'm an autistic and an introvert, I hate going shopping, period. I hate clothes shopping specifically. So, and I live in the sticks, so we don't have Nordstrom's or Neiman Marcus. So I do most of my shopping online. Yep. See, your mom is tiny too, Lourdes. I basically know with shoes, I know specific brands that fit me. So with like Clark's, I know their size 6 fits me. With Soft, I know their 5.5 fits me. So
Hey,
welcome in. I go and find them on like eBay.
I promise I'm working, Stuart. I promise. Let me tell you really quick so you know I'm not just blowing smoke.
She's working. You have witnesses. You have witnesses. We will all vouch for you.
Boom. I'm almost done.
For you.
I'm almost done.
Hi, Stu. Good to see you. So, folks, we are almost there. So, like for you to take it in. Oh, look at you go, twirling. So this is most of it. Now we have. She's totally working. She's working hard. I've seen her work. I can't lie. I don't lie. So I wouldn't tell you she's working when she's not. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all.
Good gosh, you're at 691 followers. Way to go. You're killing it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to sit back down now. Keep doing what I was doing.
I didn't know y'all because I didn't know if my fake eyelashes were going to cooperate. But since they did, I didn't know if I was going to have time to show you my wings. But I do. So let me see. Okay, which one is up? Which one is down? This one. Let's see if this actually gonna work. Come on, guys. So at this point, this costume is like, hang on, tart fishnets, tutu, chuli, and wings. So we're up to 6 pieces, guys. And the tiara. The tutus, Lourdes, I buy all my ballet stuff from Discount Dent Supply because that is, again, the only place where I can actually afford to get
That's so
it.
cool.
So I get all my belly dancing stuff from bellydance.com. So those are my 2 primary sources, and I wish they would sponsor me because I adore them. So, guys,
Sorry, not you. I clicked something wrong. I wasn't talking to you, I promise.
what do you think?
I think it's cute. And I love the fact that you're wearing 2 of them.
So, oh, wait a minute. I forgot almost one of the most important things ever. Hold on. We are not done yet, but wait, there's more.
There's always more. There's always more.
The ears.
I was going to ask you which ones you got or where to find them. I was looking earlier today.
Lily, let me look because I will go and look at my Amazon history so that I could send you which ones I got specifically. Yes, ears.
Spirit
Yes.
Halloween. That's so cool. Guys, this is so awesome. She's ready for her shoot. So when are you going for your shoot? You look so cute. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I'm going in about an hour. So, but I'm, again, having done theater, having done dance, I always get ready well in advance. I am paranoid about
to get ready.
always being early. So, and I'm so glad that I did this because I'm so happy. Because something always goes wrong if you're in a hurry. Yeah, I got everything on Amazon. So the wings are from Amazon. I love these. I wish they would work. Stuart, no, you cannot borrow them. These are mine. Stay on yours. These
I have
are
no
mine.
idea if he's even in here anymore.
My precious.
Sometimes he's a silent person in the chat.
If he starts reaching his grubby little hands to my wings, you can all slap him collectively. But Siri.
Well,
you have my permission. The queen had spoken. Sammy, you can say that I grew up at the theater. So my mother was an educator. She was initially, she went to college for juvenile education, so like kindergarten level up to grade 1. And I am not a trained actor, but when my mom got a job at the children's theater, I spent a lot of time there with her. So I got to meet all of the actors and actresses, and I got to hang out. I got to, one of my favorite sets, and I remember this, I was about 6 or 7 years old. So because I was a child, and this was a children's theater, set designers and costume designers would bring me the sketches and the mock-ups of the sets to just play with and tell them what I liked and what I didn't like. So basically, they had this free independent consultant for what they were designing for children's plays and children's shows and all of that. I get to basically tell them, no, this is boring, and ooh, this is sparkly. Can you add more sparkly? And they would add more sparkly because I told them so, because I'm the child and this is the children's theater. So yeah, so I get to spend a lot of time on stage, off stage, backstage, in the wings.
Hi, owner.
You name it. Yeah, everywhere. So yeah.
Hi, Chaos. What's up, guys? Hey, did you guys get the stuff done yet?
Everybody. We're all dressed up and ready. Look, if you join late. What do you think?
It's lovely.
Back there.
I
But
understand it hurts.
I'm actually going to take off my uh my wings because I can't drive because I have to drive to the park. So,
My shirt is
so
awesome.
Lily, what does your shirt say?
It says M2P Records, The Journey.
Okay.
So two of my friends own our music in here, and then KS, I'm KS Music. Those guys are the ones that did Annie's interview.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they're good friends. And they, because I wasn't able to go to a concert of theirs that was somewhat close by. Bye, dear. Enjoy. They sent me some free merch in like its place because I wasn't able to go to the concert like in person, even though they live streamed. But yeah, give them a follow. They're both really great. Yeah. Oh, KS and an owner. I don't know if he's still in here, but Stuart was on here a little bit ago. He popped in,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he's still here. Because sometimes
Okay.
you never know.
Put my wings back away.
But just wanted to let you know. Sleuthing. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to make this work.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, like I said, I'm just glad that I started early because I'm, I don't like panicking. I don't like, freaking out. I don't like, doing stuff at the last minute. I'm always the one who's at the airport like 2 hours before the flight. And I'm kind of okay with that. So, what did I do with my glass? Oh, there's my glass. This is, by the way, one of the problems with the fake eyelashes. I forget what I do. I forget I have them on, and I put my glasses on, and my huge eyelashes start brushing against my eyeglasses. So I
yeah,
like now.
if you guys are ready to talk with him, I'm still waiting to hear. I'm hoping to talk to him about it today. Fingers crossed. We'll see. I don't know, guys. We'll see. Me too. I'm 100% that way. Yeah. No, I'll just be honest. This lovely lady right here, she's a pistol. She's amazing. She's
Oh,
like,
thank you.
I really appreciate talking to her. Like, if you need someone
We're
to
we're
to
we're
word vomit
we're
all
twin
over.
pistols. We are like a match that, extra small in a little box.
Or as I told Stuart one time, I'm fun sized, but like a pack of dynamite.
There you go. Now, like I said, I call it concentrated awesome, which is like, by the way, something I like saying, because again, I've been undersized my whole entire life. I was actually born undersized, so I was born a preemie. I was born a month early, and I was 4 pounds when I was born, so I was tiny, and and so never quite caught up to the normal height. But so when people say, "Oh, I'm short," I usually say, you know, I usually say short is a filthy word we don't use in polite company. It's either gravitationally superior or concentrated awesome. You're
That's
allowed to use it.
phenomenal. I can relate to you. When I first got to the United States at 1.5, I was 15 pounds.
Mhm. And
People are
you
like,
were
"Oh,
what,
well, that's
one?
really."
You were a year. Yeah, you were 1 year old or something.
I was a year and a half, and I was 15,
Yeah.
15 pounds when I got to the state. I
Mhm.
was I was pretty emaciated, but love
Mhm.
and food. I got my strength, and ta-da, here I am.
There
Thanks,
you
Owen. I
go.
appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hi, Greg.
right.
Welcome
I
in,
my,
darling.
my other favorite, and Lily, you might know this because I think it might be in your, in some of the East European culture, including yours, is there was an 18th, like maybe 19th century expression for smaller women called pocket-sized Venus. I like that one too.
I don't know if I've heard that one. Like, it's
Have
interesting.
you
Like,
ever heard of that?
it's interesting because there's some aspects of my culture that I don't know. And actually, I was saying this a couple weeks ago on a live. 2 shakes of lamb stuff. Hold on. Uh, so I actually have been I haven't picked it up in a while, but I did notes here about like different things about the people in Romania, and I like noticed all the
Yeah.
underlines and asterisks, like, oh, that's me, that's not me. But the
Yeah.
one
Oh,
that's really
Sammy,
fascinating,
you're a survivor. Oh my gosh. You are,
yeah,
you're a survivor. Oh my gosh. That is, oh, especially
and
that's a tough one for a grown up, let alone for a child to survive.
I
Yeah.
agree, Sammy. Yeah, you are, darling. And then I have this one, which is I'm really fascinated about this one because Stuart asked me a while back if Romanians had like Vikings and stuff too, and I didn't know the answer, but it's probably in here somewhere because right now, um, I'm in 107, 117 AD, I think. Talking
Cool.
about the losing Dacia evacuation propaganda
Yeah.
incompetence. This is a phenomenal book about the history of Romania, and
Very cool. Yeah.
I need to know because I don't know so much, and we have
Yeah.
to be learning. And then, of course, there's this one, which is very important that people read because a lot of people are like, well, Romania was just, whatever. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was a very complex country in the time of the
It was.
war. And people don't
Yeah.
understand that their own people, they were rude, they were horrible to their own people.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
very
There
weird
was
thing going.
Eastern Europe was a mess during
on.
the war for a variety of reasons.
You can say that
I
again.
actually I mentioned this to I mentioned this yesterday on the cooking live, but I was I think Lily, is it The History of Romania, the name of the book? Sammy's asking.
Which one? There was like 3 books I pulled out. Oh, the one I was just doing. I'll just assume that was the last one. I'll bring all
Yeah.
3.
But
So we have
which one is that?
hello the second book. So the second book that I pulled out is called The Lost Romans. It's actually a history book written by a Romanian man. Um, Oh, that I don't know if I said you need to read this one. This one this was me saying I need to read this one, but I mean this one I think this this one
Yes, that's
is
the
the
one.
one
I
I
think
was
that's the one she's talking about.
this is the one I was saying everyone needs to read. This is also written by a Romanian. The foreword is done by Elie Wiesel. Um, and the reason why is because I'll read the back to you if you don't mind. It's the Holocaust in Romania, the destruction of Jews and Gypsies under the Antonescu regime, 1940 to 1944 by Radu Ionid.
Yeah.
This is a hard read for me for a number of reasons. But the back says, in 1930, 757,000 Jews lived in Romania. They were constituted the 3rd largest Jewish community in Europe. Today, not more than 14,000 Jews live in Romania, most of them elderly. The record of the Holocaust in Romania includes many curious chapters of betrayal and support, but they have been largely unavailable until now. Radu's account, based upon unparalleled access to previously secret East European government archives, is an unprecedented analysis of heretofore purposely hidden materials, archival records published and unpublished reports, memoirs of survivors, letters. Dr. Ionid uses all of these elements to build an accurate perspective on Romanian policies of racism, anti-Semitism, and extermination of Jews during the regime of Antonescu. Nowhere else in Europe, Dr. Ionid writes, has a mass murderer. Adolf Hitler's faithful ally until the very end, a man who once declared war on the United States and been honored as a national hero, inspired the erection of public monuments and had streets named for him. Today in Romania, there is a growing effort to deny the government's role in the tragedy. The Holocaust in Romania is a stark detail sheds light on the reality of the persecutions, the cruelty of the perpetrators, and their blatant opportunism and endless cynicism. No Romanian Jewish community was spared. The pattern of the destruction is not unfamiliar. Legislative discrimination followed by defamation, outbursts of violence, disorder, robbery, deportation, ad hoc killings, and organized genocide. Yet an elusive national policy that the opportunistic strategies of Romanian authorities allowed 300,000 Romanian Jews to survive the war. How to explain so much cruelty manifested on so many levels by Romanian society, asked Elie Wiesel in his foreword.
Yeah.
Ionid replies, as with documented details, it takes tremendous force to read this book from cover to cover. And then it talks about
Yeah.
where the professor was born and all of that. But the reason why, like, I wanted to read this book so much, if you were on my live last night, you heard a little bit about the possibility of myself having Jewish heritage somewhere. Whether that's actually accurate, that doesn't necessarily really matter, but it's still fascinating for me just because of a lot of personal things that I feel connected to this really intense historical event, and just different people I've met in my life and I'm close to. But this is yeah, it's, you're welcome. It's an intense book. I'm only on page like 15 because it's just that much of an intense read, because it goes into
These
a
are
lot.
always a hard read. Yeah, these are
And the,
very hard read.
and the reason why it is it's not because it's like what it's talking about, it's like how it's talking about. Because Radu, or Dr. Ionate, I'm going to put this back on my thing. He specifically focuses on, he rips it apart. Like, he talks about like what exactly was happening at the time, but he goes and pulls up the direct article numbers, like let's say article 17 point whatever, and then he talks about like what that meant and how that looked in the place, which is very hard because like Romania's like has always been sort of the unicorn of Europe because they were the first established actual how do I put it? When it was called Dacia, it was actually the first established sort of I want to say like civilization, in the sense of like they were definitely like clans and stuff, because they came straight out of the Roman Empire. Like literally what would happen is Caesar, whoever it was like, great, thank you for serving your years. Now go ahead, go take your wife or whatever, here's some land, go farm and whatever.
Yeah, go live somewhere, you know.
Yeah, and so that was Dacia or Romania, that's where they put him. And so the interesting thing is that they had a really rich culture, but then they were also fierce warriors, which was kind of a really odd place just where they were geographically, because they were far away from like Ireland and England and some of the, and kind of, but not really separate from the Germanic way. But then there's this sort of caveat where like they had like weapons and things coming from like Ireland and stuff. So there was like this kind of somewhat relationship, but not. And so the other thing that's really funny is though, but you would think they would be the first ones to be all built up like, you know, like Paris or France or something, but they're not, because they were actually very, very suspicious of one another. And they're like, no, we don't really need to become a country. So they were just, it was just kind of this no man's land, in the sense of like, yeah, there was probably territories for different clans and things, but how they dealt with things were very different. But yet they were still very...
Yeah, Lily, hasn't been that, you know, that's been the plague, the separation between tribes and clans has been the plague of the, again, Eastern Europe.
Oh, yeah.
In general. That's that runs, you know, if you guys want to read, you know, so history, the Romanian history, but also look at the Mongol invasion that lasted centuries.
That was what I was going to mention.
What happened? It's huge. You know, look at the, you know, you can pull up a map, and that's a fun one, Lily.
Yeah.
If you've done this, you know, pull up a map and look at the territory that they have invaded. Why? Because they were organized and have had ironclad discipline. Meanwhile, the Slavic tribes, the East European tribes, you know, from the Slavs, the Russians, what will become Russians and Ukrainians and all that, they were all squabbling among one another. So that huge, well-organized army,
I'm really glad
just
you
walked
said
in
that.
and took them.
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that, because this is what a lot of people don't understand about Romanians as well, is that because Romania is like right there, you know, kind of by, you know, Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, Bosnia, and I can't remember. Thank you. Yes, Moldova. That was the other one. That one's directly there, because it used to be part of Romania, but then it became Moldova. Anyway, but like what they automatically do is they're like, oh, well, they're Slavics, and it's like, well, it's not. Hi, Katrine. Nice to see you, honey. But it's like they're not all Slavic, because they don't understand that. Like if you look at the language, like Romanian language,
totally
is actually romantic. Like for example, I could go to Italy, and I could get along fine with the limited Romanian that I have, even though I know a teeny bit of Italian as well, because it's a romantic language. But the irony is that when Italians go to Romania, they don't really understand. And so there's
Yeah.
actually some very, like if you look at a map of Romania today, I actually have a really cool one I haven't put up yet. Give me
We
a
love you
second.
too.
Love
Thank
you.
you. You missed the dressing up, but look, I got my ears on. I got my tutus on. Where I'm ready to go. I'll give you guys another twirl before I leave. Before we wrap this up. Well, very cool. Yeah.
This is a really good
Oh,
map.
I love that.
This
I
is
love
actually
math.
from Romania. I haven't put it
Yeah.
up in my office yet, but I can't really show you right now on this map because it's an older one. But if you look at Romanian maps now and you look at the cultural breakdown, you'll see that there's certain areas which are really, I think, from different time periods
Yeah.
that kind of go into that breakup that you were talking about. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really fascinating when you think about it that way. But I could go on and on and on about it for a long time. But Romania was
Yeah,
like the
that's
last
like a
European
2.5
country.
hour. Yeah, that's a 2.5 hour conversation we could do on that.
We
But you
don't-
were, you were, you have that fascinating region. Where I was born is a fascinating because I was born in southeast of Ukraine. I was born in Zaporozhye in Russian, Zaporizhia in Ukrainian, which is the home of the Cossacks. And
Yes.
like everybody has heard something at some point about the Cossacks, but nobody really knows who they were, what they did, and stuff like that. And I usually say like, find a good book, not conspiracy theory side, not nationalist side. Find a really good historic source and read about that because there was a crap ton of stuff happening in that region. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. That's why I grew up in Ukraine until I was 19. So I was born when Ukraine was still part of the Soviet Union. It doesn't sound Ukrainian because I worked extremely hard to get rid of it. So I've been actually studying English since I was 5 years old because being multilingual was basically expected growing up. So my
Between
first
the
language was
nations.
Russian. My second language was English. My third language was Ukrainian. And so I almost can't remember the time when I didn't speak English. And so I grew up there. And I grew up during this really interesting time between what they call the Brezhnev's stagnation and
Oh gosh.
Gorbachev's perestroika. And I got to witness the fall of the Soviet Union. So I actually got to see as this unfolded and the separation of the republics and all of that. And so I came to the States when I was 19. Yeah, Russian is a fun language, right? Isn't it? Woo! It
I
is
actually want to
insane.
read Dr. Zhivago all the way through. I only read part
Yeah.
of it, and I also started Anna Karenina when I was like 17 or
Oh,
16.
that's depressing.
I know it's
That's
such an
depressing.
intense book, but it's so good, and you know it. It's such a good book, though.
It is a good book, but here's the thing: it's sort of in a very Anna Karenina in a way is a feminist book because everything there happens because a woman is stuck in a situation where she cannot basically she's not allowed to make decisions for herself.
Right, and that's why she's in the predicament she is with what's his toes.
She's stuck in a miserable marriage. She can't take her child with her into another relationship. The other guy doesn't want to marry her because he doesn't want to tie himself down, blah 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 blah. But speaking of which, to your point, Lily, because that's what most people know. I told you that's why I translate. That is why I translate because so many people only know like Anna Karenina, War and Peace, Crime and Punishment, things like that. And so what I translate is I purposely choose things that nobody have ever heard about. And the writers, a lot of people haven't heard about. So there you go. But yeah, so going back to the accent thing. So when I came to the States, I had a really good vocabulary, but I had a really heavy accent. And I realized that people didn't treat me as an equal in a conversation because of my accent. They thought that I didn't understand them. They thought I was slow, in a derogatory sense.
Yeah.
And I was also, and so another reason that was, important to me because I came here studying to be an engineer. My major is in mechanical engineering. So it was essential that I would learn how to communicate because I would be going, forward to work in factories, in some professional workplaces where interaction was very, very important. So I purposely started working to get rid of my accent. I purposely started working. So I purposely started watching a lot of movies, imitating how the actors spoke in movies, reciting entire pages of literature, reciting poetry, reciting scenes from movies and from plays. And so that was how I got rid of the accent. And at this point, I know I still have an accent, but most people have trouble placing it. So I just tell them, yeah, my first language is Russian, and I think it's been helpful. Um, you know, I really can't tell. There is really no timeline. I mean, what you hear me as now is the result of 41 years of speaking English, and the result of what 24 years. I'm sorry, no, not 24, 27 years of living in the United States. So it's a process. And I'm sure that 20 years from now, I will probably sound a little bit different than I sound now. So, there's really no duration. It's just, I try to improve my English. Like, here's how I know, by the way. And all of you folks out there who write, you know this trick. So when you first start writing and if you outsource your editing to somebody, right, it comes back with so many corrections, and then slowly you start getting better and better and better until most of your edits are just like small things that you just missed. Well, for me, it's not just the small regular edits like spelling and grammar. It is also the turn of phrase, the sentence structure, the things that plague multilingual people, because the sentence structure in Russian is very different from sentence structure in English. So when I submit my translations to my editor, and she comes back and says, I've only had a few minor tweaks, that is like a big freaking win for me, because I'm like, yeah, got it. Because I go between languages better and better, as I progress. And I've been seriously translating and publishing, as a professional for 15 years now. So to me, to make that progress and get to the point where the corrections that my editors make are no worse than the corrections they make for the native speakers, to me, that is absolutely huge. It is so important,
I always think
and I
it's
know,
really...
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Lily.
No. You were talking. Finish your sentence, and then I'll say my little thing.
Well, I was just thinking about, that Annie and Katrina, all of us here who are bilingual or trilingual, we all know that we have that thing, going on where we have good bilingual days and we have bad bilingual days.
Right.
And where the accent is too much or whatever, we start forgetting words. And so for us to pass for a native speaker, is like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah,
I was the secret
club. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's interesting because I was just gonna say, like, when people find out I'm Romanian, they're like, but you don't have an accent. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me start talking in Romanian for you. Numele Liliana and I'm like, okay, you want me to start talking? Like, I can do that. But then I start talking about, pasicas, which is cats. And then I would say pasich every time I was trying to say pasica. And my teacher, who is Romanian, she is Romanian, she has the same name as I do. She would say, Liliana, she'd laugh at me. She'd say, you're saying swimming pool. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. Yeah. But you guys do all amazing. You guys just are fantastic. You are.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think, I think it's like a really good thing, because I think most of us here who are multilingual, we all started like super early. Like, I'm dying to learn French. I tried 3 or 4 times to start learning French, and I know a little bit. I know a few words and I know a few phrases, but I definitely don't speak French. And it's so much harder when you are a grown up. It's like yeah, I miss just like grabbing languages out of thin air, like when I was a little kid. But to again Lily's point, what she was talking about, the if you want to see some raw material type of reading about World War II, and this is absolutely a shameless plug because that's what I do. But
Yeah.
so some years ago, I inherited my maternal grandfather's journals from um, the siege of Leningrad. If you have
Ooh.
heard about the siege of Leningrad, so this was a situation fairly early in the World War II where the
Uh-huh.
German troops penetrated very deeply into the Soviet territory because the
Yeah.
Soviet Union had an agreement, a peace agreement, a peace treaty with Germany, and until the last second, nobody believed that they were actually going to invade. But
Yeah.
then, of course, the Soviets invaded Poland. They started this mess, blah. So go read about history of World War II, how that started. So anyway, the German troops come in. The city of Leningrad, which is now known as St. Petersburg, gets surrounded entirely, but they cannot break into.
They're like outside. German troops surround the city. The city has no food, no supplies of any kind, and basically uh, falls to this absolutely terrible famine. My grandfather on my mother's side, my maternal grandfather and my paternal grandmother were both in in Leningrad um, at that time. When you say you mean the Jews, what do you mean? I'm not talking about the Holocaust now. I'm talking about something else. This is not just the Jews. This is like whatever Soviet citizens were in Leningrad. And so my grandfather, my maternal grandfather and I were very good friends when I was growing up. He's very important to me, one of the most important people in my life. He actually taught me how to read. Oh, sorry, Lily. How did you get kicked out? Yeah, there you go. But
Anyway, when he died, he left to me his World War II diary. And one of them was the book he wrote about being inside of Leningrad during the siege of Leningrad, and how it was, how people coped. And I translated it and published it. The title of the book is The Ring of Nine. The Ring of Nine is the title. His name is Vasily Kuznetsov. And so that's my grandfather. And the book is out there. It's available on all of the format. It's available Kindle, paperback, hardcover, audiobook. The audiobook, Kirk Strickland, who is amazing. Ring, Ring, Ring of Nine, author Vasily Kuznetsov. And so Kirk Strickland did the audiobook, and so that was nerve-wracking because it's like I had to find a narrator, an audiobook narrator who would be the voice of my grandfather. So yeah, and it is a very hard read. It, like so many war books, like so many novels, both historic fiction. This is historic nonfiction, and yeah, it is a difficult read. When I was translating it, I couldn't do more than one chapter a day because it was such a hard read. Because it's one thing when you're reading about it in someone else's book, and you're watching a movie or whatever. It's one thing, but this is my grandfather. This is my grandfather. This is somebody, one of the most beloved people in my life. Like I was crying at times when I was translating this because he went through this terrible thing, and it actually happened. And I think this is what makes it so hard with a lot of these, is when you realize with historic nonfiction, is that you realize, how hard it was, that it was happening to real life people. He was proud of me. Yes, he told me that before he died. But you know, he was an extraordinary man. We didn't agree on a lot on everything. We were very close. We were very good friends, but we did have some amazing bang up fights at times with like the slamming of doors and stomping of feet. That's I don't know. I don't know. Do American grandchildren have that kind of those kinds of fights with their grandparents? Does anyone know? Because we had some dusters with my grandparents, especially with my mom's parents. My you know, my grandfather and my Jewish grandmother. Woo! We had some good ones. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, so he wrote that book. I also recently published a short story of his, also nonfiction, also from the notes that he left me. It's a tiny little short story. I think it's like 99 cents on Kindle. It's called The Unsent Letter. And also, you know, from his war life. And that one, that was an interesting one.
Maria, can you
To
remember
find.
what your website is real quick?
Website for my
Website.
books.
Yeah.
My web, it's landofmariak.com.
Guys, go check out that website.
Yeah, no, and like I said, my website is in my bio, and my link tree is in my bio. And my link tree actually has direct links to the publications, so you don't even have to like click through. But yeah, and there's some.
I'm sorry, I'm swooning over here. I'm just
What did you do? What did you do? What kind of trouble did you get yourself into?
I haven't gotten in trouble yet. I got to show you this. We were talking about this earlier, and I'm head over heels. I'm so excited. I'm buying this at some point.
Oh, yeah, that looks familiar. Yes.
Especially when I literally just watched the French version all the way through last night.
Yeah.
Swoon.
Yeah, we were. So yeah, landofmariak.com. Yep, that's correct. But
And
yeah,
just for the
so
record, Stuart Mackey did the art for these books.
yes, so all of the alternative endings covers are Stuart Mackey design. Yes, and I actually recently ran a promotion with the book trailer that I did, including the names of all of the creators, because it's, yes, the writing is important. You know, so me as a writer of alternative endings, yes, that's very important. But it takes a village, and I know it's a cliche, but it takes a village to actually get a book out. So I included my editors, Rebecca McFarland Kyle, and word crafter consultants. I included the voice artists who did the first three audiobooks, which was Hem Cleveland and Virginia Ferguson. You know, I included Stuart because he designed the covers. He basically gave the series a new life. I do not say that lightly. I am an extremely picky customer. As a customer, I am savage. Yes.
I have a question. I'm noticing
Yes.
that this is like Kindle. Some of us are not Kindle people. Can you have these done in hardback, please, so I can hold them in my hand?
So you can download Kindle app on your phone, and you can download Kindle app on your. But because the content belongs to Amazon, I can't publish them anywhere else. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. And because of a copyright disagreement, I am blocked from publishing on Nook. So
Oh, I don't have that either.
I'm,
I don't do the electronic stuff.
yeah.
I just
So,
do.
but yeah, there is a Kindle app. It is a thing. So, and it's free. And there is a Kindle app for desktop, which is what I don't own a Kindle either, which is ironic because I publish for Kindle, but I don't own one. But Yeah, so there is a Kindle app for desktop, so you can download on your computer and read them that way. But the first three also, like I said, are available on Audible and iTunes as audiobooks, and they're very good. So yeah, I had really good. Yeah, see, yeah, Sammy, so you know what I'm talking about. So you don't have to have a Kindle in order to have a Kindle.
Well,
But
whatever.
yeah.
I don't like that. That's just me. Yes,
Sorry,
Felicia, I
but
see you, honey. It's okay. In my heart, I'm gonna have a book in my hand one day.
yeah,
How
and,
cool would
and
that be?
unfortunately,
Okay, I just have to
so
interject. How cool would it be if I did my Belle POV with that book in my hand?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry because and Belle is not in that book.
It doesn't matter. The fact that she has it in
Belle does
her
not.
hand.
A different woman makes an appearance in the book. I'll give you
Ooh.
that. But
Ooh.
Belle is not in the making of the Beast. She is not in there. She is not. We are not even close to Belle. Some
Is
other
it?
friends that we know and love are make an appearance, yes. But Belle is not in Making of the Beast. Remember, it is a prequel. It is
Well,
before even the opening of the movie.
what I wonder
It's
about is this similar? Because the French version, the second French version, the one I just watched last night, I'm wondering if it's somewhat airing on that side. I don't want to spoil it for people, but if you've seen
yeah.
it, you know what I mean. Is it similar to that or
No, I
different?
haven't seen it.
Oh, I don't
No.
want to say anything. Go watch it. Talk to me later
Yeah,
about
okay.
it.
I'll try to find it. But
No,
yeah,
it's really, yeah.
the making and here's the thing. So when I started writing it, it I think my favorite part about writing Making of the Beast was that I purposely put a very large contrast between this very vibrant and luxurious setting and the very dark subject matter. So it's not Disney.
That's fine.
It is not a Disney-esque story at all. It may use Disney characters in it, but it is not Disney. It is like we are into a rather dark territory with it. And of the four alternative endings, um, you know, of the let's see. Of the four alternative endings, so my favorite cover is actually Let the Beauty Sleep, which is the second installment, which is based on Sleeping Beauty.
That's a
My
lovely
favorite,
too.
yeah, my favorite because it has the princess on it, because he
I
put the
just
princess
love
on.
the butterflies too. That makes my heart happy.
Yeah,
Every single
it
one.
is. It's so pretty, and I that was we talked about when we were designing the covers when we were working. We were I said, I want some type of autumnal scene in there because when I think about the woods surrounding the Sleeping Beauty, um, the Beauty's castle, not the creepy ones, like not where all the thorns are and prickly stuff, but the outside, I always imagine it would be forever autumn. It would be like this beautiful dying type of thing. And so
Right.
we did that. So that's my favorite cover, but my favorite story is Making of the Beast, definitely.
Okay, good, good.
So yeah,
I'm
no,
so,
the favorite, that was my favorite. I didn't sleep for like a week writing that because I could not. I would go to bed, then would just pop out of bed and get back to my laptop and start writing again because I was just bursting out of me. I had to put it down, and that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of staying up with that story.
I'm really
Um,
glad that you did. Like when I heard you were doing it, I got so excited.
yeah, no, I was, and I'm so proud of it, the way it came out. How when you put something down, yeah, it is. You're like, you're just like bursting out of your head. You just want to. I call it having a writing binge. It is a writing binge. You're just like riding a high, and the thing is that I did go back and like tweaked a few things here and there, but mostly I made no corrections to it. So before I sent it to my editor, I just did a basic spelling and grammar check to it, and then I just sent it off. And she had very few corrections to it too. And I was like, okay, we're good, we're done. Guys, it is 2:22, guys and gals, and everybody in between. So I'm gonna give you one last twirl. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put one more thing on myself. Hang on. Hang on. So you could all see the full picture. So this is not a full picture yet. Hang on. So I'll show you the wings. So if you haven't seen the wings, I'm going to show you the wings. It's a little bit of a structural challenge here for me to put my wings on.
Doesn't she look so
Because they're-
beautiful?
Thank you. That is so sweet.
I know people are saying you're beautiful and pretty, and I'm like, yeah, she is.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. So you guys all came to see the getting dressed for Halloween. Now you get to see it. So here we go. You get to see, you get to take in the full picture itself. Let me press it up. Turn this way. Turn this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you
This was
so
a
much for
pleasure.
being here.
Thanks for having me. And I was
It's been fun. Yeah, no, Lily, you are always such a trooper. You are amazing. I really appreciate you. You need to, like, seriously need to rest up and, like, not work, because it is a holiday. I think Halloween should be like a global holiday, personally. We
I'm
all get
literally
to,
almost done. I just have to. On one
yeah,
of the
we'll
pages.
finish.
On one of the pages, I have to just insert where I want the graphics, the other graphics,
Yeah,
like the pictures to go. And then I need to send him
yeah,
I have to send Stuart a voice note so he understands what the heck I'm trying to do, because I know it's not going
there
to
you
make
go.
sense.
So, finish it up, get rest up, watch some fun Halloween movies. Because that's what, I'm gonna come back home from the photo shoot, share the pictures, and then watch something fun, watch something Halloween. I'm trying to think, we have like a stack this high of Halloween movies, so we'll see which one. So, but yeah, so everybody, thank you so much. Oh my God, I got like over 1,000 likes. That is rad. Oh
That's
my God.
awesome.
Yes, Danny. Yeah,
Felicia, make sure that you
definitely show us.
just
Yeah.
lay down and relax. Yeah. Sammy, I wish you could go live, because then it'd be fun to see like your makeup and
That
whatnot.
would be so much fun. Yes, we could all like, but make a video, because that's what I did last year.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough followers to do. I might repost my video from last Halloween. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you all, and I should be back to my normal live schedule. So I should be doing another live next Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern, and I will put out an announcement for that. And I'm thinking we are going to be doing some dancing again, and we will be doing some dancing with some props. So I mentioned props during my last dancing live when we did the belly dancing live. So I'm going to pull out my fans. I'm going to pull out my veils. I'm going to pull out my toy balls. So there's going to be twirling and fluttering and all kinds of things. But yeah, so everybody, thank you so much. Have fun. Enjoy your Halloween. And
Yes, likewise.
I'll see you again soon. Love you all. Mwah.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Thank you.